Hi Cancer, welcome into your 2023 yearly tarot reading. I do want to thank you so much for joining me for the reading, but I do want to remind you this is general for your year. So just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. And I do more than appreciate the love and support by liking the video, commenting down below, tell me how this resonates for you specifically, and of course subscribing to the channel if you haven't joined this Cancerian tribe already. But as you can see, I pre-pulled an overall oracle to speak upon your year from the Sacred Forest Oracle deck, and then we're going to break down your year into 4 quarters with 3 different tarot decks. So let's see what we got for you. You have Love, the Wild Rose Fairy. So naturally 2023 is going to be a year full of love and support is what I'm hearing, and I feel like growth all the meanwhile. I did, before one of the many attempts to get this reading done for you, I channeled the message of love what you do what you love, all right? And so there's a reason for everything I'm getting, but I feel as if it's a year where, with a true level of purpose in everything you wrap oneself up in and move away from, you're finding oneself succeeding in so many ways, and I feel like people love you, okay? There's going to be a lot of, again, support, but just, it's like you're impressing people in certain ways, and people just love what you do for work, for your business, for your job, or just the words you convey. Your voice is of true importance. I feel like being drawn to this reading, there's going to be a lot of cleansing of energy throughout the year, but at the very least, energy is going to affect you, okay? Oh, and I'm now getting people love your individual energy, all right? I feel like it's calm, cool, and collected with just sparks of passion, okay? I do feel as if money and career is going to be a true focus for you for the majority of the year, probably at the top of your priority list. But I do feel like dating, love, romance is going to come to be at certain points throughout the year, whether you choose to go after it or you choose to prioritize it or not, all right? Spirit's saying just because you're a hardworking soul, just because you want to see oneself, you want to see something grow and you want to see oneself successful and wealthy in a lot of ways moving forward, a sense of preparing for your bright future, right? Doesn't mean you don't deserve the love and the romance, okay, the taking caring of oneself. I also feel like self-love is taking a true highlight in certain ways. Taking care of your physical figure, your internal well-being also taking a highlight. To love oneself is to set the tone for all connections, and I want to say for your career as well. And I feel like you're reminding other people to take care of themselves as well. Let's use the Light Seers Tarot to see what we get for the first 2 quarters, and then we'll clear the board and pull for the rest of the year. I feel like you're well-spoken, but just there are going to be moments naturally throughout the year where there's certain frustrations, right? Whether it's spiritual messing with, energy affecting you, things not going perfectly, or you having to do something multiple times or attempt to get done what you need to, right? Whether that's for your career or not. And I feel like it's just you needing to recognize that you're built to overcome certain obstacles, all right? Not that you should have to, but it just feels like Spirit's saying this isn't going to be a perfect year, but it's going to be a very successful, love-filled year, to say the very least. What do we have? Okay. We're going to go with the 3 of Cups for the first quarter. And what do we have for the second one? Okay, we're going to go with both of these, the World card and the Empress. So I feel as if the year begins January, February, March, and there's true levels of fulfillment and celebration taking place. Hard work pays off, to say the very least. People want more of what you have to offer that's coming through. There's a sense of you having a very angelic presence, potentially partially due to your spiritual connection, but I feel like you're being viewed as an angel or just somebody who cares, right? And I feel like you're just floating through with a sense of ease through what you need to accomplish, who you're connecting with. But I also feel like there's a reminder throughout the first half of the year in general, you're attracting and manifesting what you desire at this time. If you desire new friendships or to reconnect with somebody or multiple people, that's going to come to be in the first half of the year, or the year as a whole. If you desire new love or a new commitment within the connection you already have stepping into the new year, you're going to find that this just comes to be with ease in destined timing when it's meant to, okay? But I do feel like this is your presence at certain points as well, where you're bold, you're passionate, but overly serious. It's like you don't really fully explain it all as to what you're going through behind closed doors. They're saying behind the curtains. Interesting. So there's a sense of you putting on a bit of a show at certain points, feeling all of the different types of emotions kind of floating to the surface throughout the year. But I feel as if January is a time to heal, while the following months pick up in pace and just feel a lot busier. Okay, but let's further clarify with the Mystic Mondays. Let's see here. I feel like you do a lot of speaking in the throughout the year, but you just also find the importance, or you remember the importance of moments of solitude and silence. But I feel like they're showing me the Hermit card in my mind's eye. Bear with me, because I feel like you are spending a lot of quality time alone in the first half of the year, but you're also finding oneself being reminded that you're a true leader in your own individual way. You inspire the hearts of others is what I'm hearing. The Ace of Swords to further clarify the first quarter, and then the Ace of Wands. Yeah, so I feel like this is meant to feel like a brand new start for you this year, okay? Where I feel like 2022 had some hardships, some ups and downs, beginnings, endings. They just showed kind of almost like a roller coaster spiraling. But I just feel like you are needing to recognize that this year sparks a lot of improvements, a lot, right? Where you could find oneself moving into a new place of residence. You could find oneself, again, beginning a new relationship. A proposal for some is what I'm getting. Or you could find oneself beginning a new job or multiple. I do feel as if you're the type of person at this point along your path, and you'll be reminded of this, where you don't stick with a situation just because somebody else would, or just because of someone's opinion or judgment, or just because of the past, or any sense of concern or fear for what lies ahead or what doesn't. It's this feeling that you're cutting ties or just releasing what isn't meant for you or what just isn't healthy, and allowing for oneself to, in a calm, cool, and collected, trusting manner, move towards what you deserve, or just allow for the universe to bring it in for you, okay? But I do feel as if there's a lot of calm, cool, and collected movements in the first 3 months where you're fixing this, fixing that, accomplishing this, accomplishing that, migrating from one situation, from one task to the next, and feeling quite successful all the meanwhile. But I do feel like there's a sense of you giving other people clarity with that Ace of Swords in the first 3 months, but also just gaining true levels of clarity through intuitive hits, through, they're saying especially January, through downloads from spirit, your dreams being so overwhelming but informative all the meanwhile. I feel like people are in awe, even if not all of which is in a positive sense. I just feel like you're one gifted soul being drawn to this reading, and people are just, jaws are dropping. They're just impressed and just confused, but perplexed, but wanting more, or just not really sure how you do what you do, but you do it well. We have the, Five of Cups. I feel like you're expecting the worst with certain people or one specific person. But the Eight of Wands, to further clarify the first 3 months, again, January, February, March. It's like, again, after January, I feel, or somewhere around the end of which, the pace picks up, okay? Doesn't mean you're going to be stressed or just moving ultra quickly. It just feels like you put a situation onto your plate that, or an expansion comes to be. It could be a connection coming in that just leaves you a lot more, a lot busier, okay? More on within your schedule. But they're saying, let me try and pencil you in. But there's a sense of you needing to keep the hope alive with those doves as you communicate a lot. A lot of people communicate to you. I feel like there is back and forth communication, but there's either an online platform or something of the sort where you get your voice out there, or create and develop, and then the communication comes back to you in a positive sense. Even some judgmental, they're saying ignore the naysayers. But they're also saying that communication will flow in for you in these first 3 months in regards to future fulfillment, future reasons to celebrate with the Three of Cups once again, all right? But it feels like They're reminding you to get ready for all the abundance to rain on in. All right, it's time for you to see oneself succeeding due to past efforts. And I want to say consistency paying off. Okay, again, people love you. All right. The Ace of Cups, a lot of ace. Okay, there's three of them so far. But I do feel as if shifting into the months of April, May, and June, you're going to find oneself either continuing something from either February or March, or you're going to find oneself beginning something new at this point. I feel like for a lot, this is a relationship, but it could be more so career oriented or a financial investment. But I'm hearing your family's proud of you for some. But I do feel like this is when you start to really see oneself blossoming through what you're accomplishing, achieving, what you've changed, seeing the abundance overflow from one's cup. And they're saying swim towards what you deserve, swim towards what you deserve. They're also saying, especially the spiritual, really spiritually connected Cancers drawn to this reading, it can feel a bit rocky, right? The waters can feel a bit rocky at certain points, but you're built for this, you can handle it. And there's this vibe about what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And so I do feel like in the months of, bear with me, in the months of April, May, and June, you're doing some reflecting on, I want to say 2022, or just your path up until this point. Some of you going as far back to childhood, but giving birth to whatever this is for you, and it could be more than one situation, is leaving you more successful. They're saying this is a time of your year where you're seeing world-changing success come to be, okay? That's leaving you feeling more passionate, again, busier. People are looking at you as somebody who's in demand. Interesting. The entrepreneur is drawn to the reading. I truly feel like you are very, very successful. Seeing a lot of growth, and people see the potential within you, the skill sets that are just helping you thrive, all right? You're very talented being drawn to this reading. But I feel like with this Ace of Wands here, if you look at the imagery, there's a sense of you having that magical touch, right? Your ability to manifest is taking a highlight in the second quarter, especially. And I want to say, so the first half of the year in general, where you're seeing oneself have the ability to imagine, to desire, to want, and it comes to be quite instantly, all right? And Spirit's saying as well, if you know your ability and trust in your ability to manifest quite easily and to co-create with Spirit, and it doesn't come to be right away, it's because there's a divine delay at play, okay? You need to trust that it's going to come to be when it's meant to. But there's a feeling that in these 3 months, again, April, May, and June, you're finding oneself somewhat elevating, okay? But I feel like you are doing well at balancing things out better than you did in 2022, at finding that work-life balance, more socializing taking place in these 3 months. But I feel like it's like at times you feel as if you should be spending more time alone than you are in these 3 months, but Spirit's saying you deserve the comfort of these connections, all right? So don't be surprised when new friendship comes to be and you bond with people of importance quite easily, right? And even people that aren't being labeled as important, but in a sense, in a larger picture, they are, all right? And I feel like even temporary connections take a highlight for whatever reason. But given that you are manifesting, attracting in a lot at this point along your path, being a very powerful, loving individual, you need to recognize quite quickly, right? Use that discernment when figuring out who and what's not meant for you. I do feel like it's a year where the past wants to keep popping back up, and that could be a little bit frustrating or concerning, but Spirit's saying, do not fret. We won't allow you to make the same mistake again, right? We will highlight who and what is just not going to bring any more success into your life. Just highlighting the fact that if you wrap oneself up with a person, place, or situation that's not right for you, you are risking putting up some blockages, okay, or one big one. Let's pull one right for the middle. We have the Sun card, beautiful. There's a sense of this being a much sunnier year for you in general. And I do feel as if being reminded with the World card and the Sun card, completion is a must, right? And your evidence that when you do what's right for you, what's right for Cancer and potentially your loved ones, and what makes you happy and adds peace to your overall well-being and situation, or way of being and situation in life, you're going to see oneself more successful. You're even more so easily able to manifest when you're in a comfortable situation, right? Whether that's work, home, the environment that you wrap oneself up in, that you stick with or move towards, says wonders, okay? And it really does affect your overall way of being and can make or break you, okay? But I do feel like you're somebody who wants to help other people being drawn to this reading. Very interesting. I kind of feel like pulling one more. We also have the Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. Naturally, the first half of the year, they're saying especially in the months of April, May, and June, you're finding oneself seeing again that hard work pay off, the abundance flowing in, and people just gifting you left and right. I feel like being drawn to this reading, you're meant to be in a connection where you may be that the individual play the role where you desire to take care of somebody. But I feel like a lot drawn to this reading are destined to be in a connection where they want to take care of you, okay, wholeheartedly. And in Spirit saying this is meant to take a weight, a bit of a weight off your shoulders, okay? And they're now saying you don't have to do this alone. You don't have to do it alone, but there's a sense that you can and you have for a while, or just at certain points along your path. And so it's made you stronger, okay? But there's a reminder that you are very good looking to wrap up the first half of the year. But I feel like in general, at certain points throughout the first half, and but anyways, I just feel like Spirit's reminding you through other people, when pushing you to check oneself out in the mirror, to take care of oneself more. You are very good looking, and that's bringing in even more abundance. Let's clear the board and pull for the second half. Bear with me as I do some cleaning up. But I don't feel like rushing, and I feel like that's your vibe, okay? You do not feel like rushing. Let's pull from the Light Seers. Actually, we're gonna pull from the Mystics first, or the Mystic Mondays, bear with me. I feel like there's gonna be stumbles throughout your year, but it will even help what you're trying to achieve at certain points. You need to be flexible in regards to when you get stuff done, okay? Energy will affect you. Once again, the King of Swords, naturally being viewed as a very wise soul, but a bit guarded all the meanwhile. I feel like you've been put through the ringer at certain points. If we were to selectively think back, the Knight of Cups, look at that. They actually want this one put back, but I do feel like there's somebody swooping in to admit how they feel about you, or multiple people. I just feel like, once again, you have options. Okay, we didn't say that already. But it's this year that reminds you that you have the authority over your own life, okay? You're able to be picky at this point along your path due to your good looks, due to the knowledge of your own worth and value, right? And remembering throughout the year, you do not need to settle for less, even if what you desire is taking a little bit longer than one would like, okay? But the Two Kings, very interesting. So the second half of the year highlights the fact that you are very much within your masculine energy, okay? Tapping into that and using it to your advantage. But let's pull from the Light Seers. And so I feel like more so in the months of July, August, and September, there's a focus on your mind, your wisdom, your experience, okay? Gaining things easily, once again, accomplishing, I want to say more so with ease at this point along your path and just throughout your year. But then when we shift into the last 3 months of October, November, and December, there's a focus on your looks more so, okay? You're changing so much due to a big change you made in the recent past. Sunnier days ahead is what I'm hearing. Sunnier days ahead. Ooh, look at that. But there is another king, wow. There is a piece to, especially the months of July, August, and September, where you feel at ease with the decisions you've made, with what you've released, and what you're moving towards. There's a feeling that you know you shouldn't be stressing it, so you simply don't, period. Let other people do what they have to do while you get it done. I'm not sure why that's coming through, but then we have the Magician and the Six of Wands, beautiful energy, to further clarify the King of Pentacles. So I feel like as you shift into the months of July, August, and September, it feels like a weight's either lifted off your shoulders, or you feel like things are just kind of falling into place. There's a feeling that you're gaining true levels of fulfillment throughout these 3 months that feel rewarding in and of itself, okay? you do something and you turn it into gold. I did get the message before one of the recent attempts to get this reading done of with a flip of a switch, you turn something into gold. Absolutely amazing, right? But I do feel like you're being reminded that there's an important shift coming in for you moving forward. And I feel like it's towards the end of this year, if not the beginning of 2024. And this is going to be even more so life changing. They're saying some of what's drawn to this reading are meant to be a celebrity or just gain true levels of fame and just at the very least fortune, okay? And again, your efforts are paying off. From one moment to the next, you are reminded you are loved, okay? From one moment to the next, you're reminded you're meant for true success and exceeding one's potential all the meanwhile. Let's pull some small everyday tarot. What do we have for the King of Cups and the King of Swords? The Star, beautiful. You might have Aquarius in your chart. They're saying, or Pisces. But I do feel as if you are being viewed as a star, okay? Naturally, all right? Your Cancerian nature is working to your advantage, but then I feel like your North Node and your rising sign are taking a true highlight at this point along the year for, I feel like, more than one reason. I feel like some of you need to remember how much you've accomplished in order to sort of pat oneself on the back. It's like other people will praise you, give you credit for where it's needed, where you deserve it. But then it's even more rewarding and just in a different way when you are pushed to pat oneself on the back and say, you haven't given up, right? And now you're seeing things grow exponentially. You're seeing oneself shine like the star you are, okay? And they're saying the continuous efforts to improve one's well-being in your looks all the meanwhile, keeping up with things, that is benefiting you, right? But I also just feel like in certain ways, it's this part of the year that reminds you, in order to pour into the cups of others, you need to refill your own cup, right? Very important, okay? But I do feel like the stars are shining in your favor, okay? Things are aligning for you once again, and people are seeing you as just very knowledgeable, very wise, and just somebody who's going places, period. And we have the, let's see here. Nope, that doesn't feel right. You got to trust how you feel. Throughout the year in general, there's going to be a true highlight on how intuitive you truly are at this point along your path, how it's been strengthened over time, and you deserve to trust that wholeheartedly. Okay, you deserve the best is what I'm hearing. You owe it to oneself to trust that intuition quite quickly as those hits come in. Because if you think back in a very simplistic manner, when you didn't trust it, you either delayed the inevitable, okay, or you delayed the incoming ship for oneself or blessing. In one way, shape, or form, it did not benefit you, okay? And so when your intuition speaks to you, when spirit speaks to you, pair that together and make a decision for the benefit of your individual life, okay? I'm hearing spirit has your back. Interesting. I do feel as if there's a reminder to not overwork yourself, okay? Do not overwork yourself. What do we have here? The High Priestess. Beautiful. So I feel like your spiritual connection in the last 3 months of the year specifically is taking a highlight. You could be going through a spiritual awakening and or a spiritual increase in the second half of the year, all right? And this is going to benefit your overall path. But I do feel like you are being noticed for how much you get done, okay? It's like it's this vibe where you at certain points will want to in the second half of the year just put in more work, even though you know you shouldn't, even though you don't have the energy or the resources to do so, and it will benefit you. But Spirit's saying, once again, let's not burn ourselves out. There's a feeling that you were doing a better job at balancing things out in the first half of the year in that sense. Anyways, that was just a small detail. But I do feel as if you are being viewed as somebody who has the ball in their court when it comes to these last 3 months of the year. One strong, bold individual, right? People misunderstanding you at times and you feeling this true level of misunderstanding at this, up until this point. But Spirit's saying not everybody needs to or deserves to understand you, okay? Very interesting. Yeah, the Emperor, because I feel like whether you're being honored and respected, applauded for your wits, okay, your talent, or your good looks all the meanwhile, and your ability to manifest and how spiritually connected you truly are, you're getting things accomplished. There's this vibe where you're thinking about where to put your next game piece, with the kids screaming. But I do feel as if you are successful all the meanwhile, period. All right. But I truly feel like as you make your way through October, November, and December, naturally people are seeing you as someone who's going places. But a new manifestation comes to be that leaves you with eye-opening success. Bear with me as I got cut off due to lack of storage. But I do feel like this is a year naturally where things are falling into place once again, and you're seeing oneself soaring to new heights and just not settling all the meanwhile once again. But as you grow and prosper through what you create, develop, and who you connect with, remember, this is a year where things are improving for you and you're truly loved. All right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your year, and I'll see you next time.